Let's say we're not doing a stream. Do you keep it this dark?
I've got the torch light on that's going to be shut off. I've got my bedroom light on that's going to be shut off when I go to bed.
So how do you see when it's like the middle of the night and you have to pee?
The dining room light is on when I usually have the light on in my house. The torch, which is basically the light that normally torches up the entire apartment. Okay? How I normally see without the lights on is by fucking smell and feel almost. I've lived here for that many years.
And then you always turn the bathroom light on, or do you do it in the dark?
And I turn the bathroom light on, of course. I do have a night light in there that I need to get light bulbs for, but I normally turn the bathroom light on, of course.
Really?
Good night. Restart right now.
No, don't do that. No, let's still. We're just hanging out, Perry.
Good night.
Anyway, thanks everybody. That's usually the way things go. That's a good. I just saw that. Damn it! I'm gonna have to call him back. Joey has a really good suggestion. I'm gonna just call him real quick. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I mean, I'm not really trying to be a jerk. Sorry, real quick. Just a really quick follow up. I was going to ask him Academy Award trivia next, but try the other number. Sorry. By the way, shout out to AN1337. Really cool guy for restreaming on YouTube. All right, I'll get him back in a little bit. Joey's suggestion was, how about he go remote and put us in the gimbal and show us all how he falls asleep, which could be fun. Could be a fun little after hours activity. Probably in the bath. I'm guessing he's in the bathroom. And by the way, some people have probably noticed. Have you noticed in the past 2 weeks that his pee breaks have been less? There's an actual reason for it. He actually had a checkup with his doctor, and he mentioned, his pee problem, and they changed his medication and gave him another prescription to help with that, and he's been going a lot less. So there's he's on some kind. They adjusted some medication he's on, and also gave him something else, and it's been it's been a completely a different thing. So I mean, I think he only went once tonight, the entire stream in 6 hours. So but definitely a big thing. Oh, he sent me a text message. Let me go to sleep. Do not call me. I'm just trying to call you for 1 second. So, but that's the thing. And he had a prostate exam. Everything went well. Was it diabetes? No diabetes. But it was just some kind of thing with his whatever they did to reconfigure the medication.
What now?
Quick question. Just again, because we got a lot of new people watching on the restream, Joey had a great suggestion. Can we go remote by putting the camera phone on the gimbal and just go in bed, and then we just you basically just show everybody.
Out of the question.
We basically just show
God damn, leave me the fuck alone!
just to show us
Good night!
how to show us how you go to sleep.
Good night!
It's nicer ways to say that, Perry. I guess that's a no, Joey, but that's a great suggestion. Sorry about that, guys. I did try. Fridays are a struggle more than any other stream because Wednesdays never go too late, and then Sundays start early, so that never goes late. But Fridays start late. Late 6 p.m. For him, and it's always this kind of battle at this point on a Friday. So yeah, that's kind of what you're dealing with, unfortunately. So it was worth the effort. It was worth trying. Rick said he missed the Joe Bob Halloween special. You know what? I'm actually fascinated by this. People that watch Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder. The first movie he played tonight I saw was Angel, which is not really horror, but Joe Bob's Drive-In doesn't necessarily have to be horror. I'm actually really interested to see that because I remember when that came out and I was a very little kid. Angel is a movie about a high school girl who becomes a streetwalker, kind of, and I always wanted to see it. And I remember when it came out on video, it was like a very taboo thing. It felt like porn to me. I actually am very curious to see that movie with his commentary. I've never seen it. That's for people that even know who that is. I don't know what was the second. Rick, do you know what the second movie was that he played tonight? Yeah, Shudder. It's like a streaming app for horror movies, basically. But it does a good job. And Joe Bob Briggs, it really the only reason that I have a Shudder subscription is for him. But I just quickly saw it early. I was looking for something else, and I just quickly saw that was the first movie. But I don't know what his second movie was. It's too bad. I wish he was on like more regularly. Because sometimes and what I like about the app is even if you don't want to watch the movie he's hosting, you can just see the version with just his commentary, which is great. I know. Perry only had to congratulate Adam Sandler once tonight. I know. What's your thoughts on that B movie, Resident Evil film coming out to theaters? I don't know anything about that, really, to be honest with you. Must-watch Halloween season movies, Jordan. It changes. Last year, I watched a bunch of movies. I stacked out a bunch of horror movies that I've never seen before. I like to watch more obscure ones that I'm seeing for the first time, and that's always hit or miss. I don't like doing the same things year to year, so I don't like watch Halloween. Even though I like Halloween, I like Halloween 2, 3, and 4, but I don't like watch them every year. And I'm not one of these people that worships at the temple of Halloween 3. I fall in the middle. I don't get the newfound love for it, and I don't get the original hate or the new hate for it either. I'm kind of like in the middle. Oh, Terror Train. That's awesome. That looks like that's a good show. I'll watch. See, I wish that they don't put it on demand until Sunday, and obviously I can't watch it Sunday because we're doing this. I wish they'd put it on tomorrow. That's freaking great. Oh, it's James Cameron's Galaxy of Terror, Joey says. Oh, is that? Are you saying that's Joe Bob on Joe Bob, or that's something that you watch? Critters is definitely worth watching. Critters is so goddamn entertaining. If you haven't seen Critters, watch Critters. It's great. It's a total like Gremlins ripoff, but a really, really good one. My favorite Friday the 13th is Friday the 13th Part 6. Because I feel like Friday the 13th Part anything, and I just watched all the Fridays kind of recently because they remastered them, and they look as good as they're gonna look, I guess. And 6 feels it's the only movie that feels like it's trying to be a real movie. It breaks away from the template just a little bit, where you see what the police are up to, which you've never seen, like police involvement in a way. Um, the guy who plays Tommy Jarvis is really good, having an engaging protagonist. Jason is great because it's like it's the first time you see zombie Jason. Even though I prefer human Jason, I think zombie Jason in that movie works. And a close second would be Part 4. I saw somebody else mention Part 4. Part 4 is very good too because it actually has likable characters. Like the people who get chopped off. They actually do they did a good job with casting in that more than the other. No, didn't see Hellraiser. I've never been that on board with Hellraiser, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like it's just never been on my radar. Wheezy says, "TomB, is your movie knowledge by year encyclopedic, or was that made up?" No, it's true. I mean, I'm not perfect. I can really. My knowledge is basically quantum leap rules. It only really within my own timeline. So like when I was born and to present day, I just know I'm like this with music too, but more so with movies. That's why I was kind of, goading Perry into like, what movie came out in what year or whatever. I don't have to take it to Google. I pretty much know when movies came out. And I worked in a video store when I was a teenager. Maybe that helped it a little bit, but I used to have this friend of mine and she would be fascinated by it and then we'd be bored and she'd call me on like a Thursday night or so and we'd just be sitting on the phone and she'd be flipping through like the HBO guide or the TV guide and she'd just name out movies to me and I'd be like 1988, 1984. 82, and once in a while I'd be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm only wrong by like 1 year, and it's rare that I'm wrong. But yeah, that's my weird superpower. Jordan Hoff says, Critters is now on the list. My dad taped it off HBO when I was a little kid, and I shoved that tape in the VCR, saw a big ball going down the hill, and a nightmare. You know what? Critters is great because it's like sci-fi meets horror. It's fun, and I even kind of remember Critters 2 being good as well, and I never saw anything past that. Horror movies like that, they tend to go, they tend to lose steam after like the second sequel. It's like the first Tremors with Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon is such a classic. I don't know if you'd even call it horror. It's definitely trailer drive-in worthy, but the sequels never lived up to the best. Oh, Hannah mentioned Scanners. Scanners is incredible, really good if you never saw Scanners. The Thing, of course, but I can't watch those movies year by year. I need some breathing room. Did I see Hereditary? Yes, I did, and I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would. I actually saw it in the theater. And boy, there's a moment in that movie where something happens that I think anybody who's seen it knows what I'm talking about. And oh my God, brutal. Watch Hellraiser 1, 2, and 4, and that's it. Okay, that's good advice. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody else. Chomsky says In the Mouth of Madness is a go-to Halloween movie. Never saw that. I don't know why. Does Shudder have a Critters series, Joey? I didn't know that. If they do, I don't know. I've only seen the first 2 movies. Tremors 1 and 2, Joey says, yeah, but the problem with Tremors 2 is it doesn't, like, you lose Kevin Bacon, you still have Fred Ward, and then you don't even have Fred Ward. But there's something about the chemistry between Fred Ward, Kevin Bacon, even Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties, is in it as a gun nut who steals pretty much, and his wife is Reba McEntire, and they're like they're basically like gun nut end of the world conspiracy theorists where they have like a bunker and everything, and like this whole Tremors thing is like perfect for them. They're like scene stealing stuff, like absolutely great. And I didn't see it. I think I saw it when it came on HBO when I was a kid, and it's only grown. I've only grown more appreciation for it as the years go on, and I would love to see them do another one. And as I've said, I'm not the world's biggest fan of when they do these horror sequels and they negate all the sequels. But I'd give Tremors a pass. If you can do a direct sequel to one or two, forget anything that came after it, forget all the direct-to-video sequels, forget the series, and have Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward back and do another Tremors, I would be totally on board for that. And I think somebody can get that done. Night of the Creeps and Miracle Mile are also... Miracle Mile, is that the one with Anthony Edwards, where it's like the end of the world is happening or something like that? I vaguely remember that. But Night of the Creeps, 100%. I think Rick saw Night of the Creeps recently for the first time after I think we talked about it. Night of the Creeps is great. No, I never saw The Descent. 2006. My horror knowledge ends at like somewhere in the 90s, and it's very sporadic up until like most of my love for the genre comes from like the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Past that, it's touch and go. Night of the Creeps is good because it combines so many genres. Like it's like an Animal Heist type thing. It's got sci-fi. It's got Body Snatchers vibes to it. It's got the old grizzly cop. You know, it's so good. Evil Dead 2 is classic. That's great. Yeah. So I'm getting in the mood now to see. So I haven't seen any. I haven't gotten into the mood. I haven't been in the season of like watching. Maybe I'll watch one tomorrow night. Like last year, I watched The Omen, and I hadn't seen that in like years. Where it's basically like watching it for the first time. And then I watched all the Omens because I've never seen the sequels. And Omen 2 was very good. Omen 3 was terrible, awful. I'm the Perry of horror movies. That's right. Yeah. Your trends stop in like the mid 90s. I don't know why that is. It's just the way it's worked out. I also think that horror is like, it's this weird genre where when one move, it's more than any other genre. You know, and other genres do this: comedy, action. You know, it's like Die Hard. Die Hard hits because you never saw anything like it, and then there's like 20 or 30 knockoffs. But horror, it's genre changing. Like Halloween comes out, and for the next 12 years, you're inundated with slashers, some better than others, and then it takes another movie to kind of hit, and then blows up. And then Scream comes out, and I'm not a fan of Scream. And then every horror movie that comes out after that is like self-aware characters making wisecracks. And that's what I hated so much about Halloween H2O, is it was more influenced by Scream than actual Halloween. Even the poster, if you look at the poster for Halloween H2O, it's basically the poster for Scream. It's ridiculous. And then Saw comes out, and then you have torture movies, like torture horror for the next however many years until something else happens. You know what I mean? And then that's annoying to me, and I'm not into the torture movies. So I'm not, and Rick says horror fans will watch every sequel, good or bad, they're dead. Yeah, see, and that's where I kind of fall off. That's where I can't see myself, like as much as I like the genre, I only cherry pick the good stuff. I can't, I just can't get into every kind of, like I'm not the kind of person that'll go see anything that slaps the horror genre on it. Miracle Miles, guy gets a phone call that missiles have launched and are about to wipe out. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That's Anthony Edwards, the guy from ER and Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, I remember Miracle Mile. I haven't seen it since, probably since the 80s when it was on HBO. I saw too when I was way too young. Messed me up. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, torture movies. Yeah, I want to. I don't want. I don't like. There's very few movies that scare me, but I want to see. I want to see like I don't know. I want to feel the vibe of it. And torture movies, I don't know. But the first Saw is okay, and and I've seen most of them. Cannibal Holocaust I saw last year when it was on Joe Bob's last drive-in for the first time, and that was actually really good. I I think Rick called it right. It's definitely the first found footage movie. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another example of like another genre. But I grew up when slashers were the rage. So I grew up when you had Michael Myers, Freddy, and Jason. So and also another caveat to this is my mom would never let me see those movies growing up. So I had to sneak off to like friends' house and things like that. So I had to really work to see those movies. So they were extra special because I felt like, again, I always felt like I was getting away with something watching them. Do I like Child's Play? Yeah, I love Child's Play. The first Child's Play especially. I've talked about that. I really like Child's Play. Holds up. First Child's Play is great. And first Child's Play, I think the best horror movies are the ones that have really good casting that kind of raise the level of the writing in a way. And I think Child's Play is an example of that. 13 Ghosts is very good. That's a very good 90s horror film. That's the one with Tony Shalhoub, right? That's really good. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I watched Amityville Horror last year for the first time. Didn't care for it. I thought it was boring. I watched... Shit, what else did I watch? I'm trying to think. I watched a bunch. Now they're all kind of fading. There was a couple that I watched that I actually turned off. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what. I guess you can call it. I guess you could call it horror. I watched Alligator from 1980 with Robert Forster, who's the guy who stars in Jackie Brown. It's about an alligator, and that was really. I can recommend that. Cat's Eye's good, but again, it's a Cat's Eye's kind of like Creep Show in that most of the segments were good. A couple were flat. Flatliners, Flatliners more suspense, but I love that. Shocker, yeah. What was the other one? There was Shocker, and then there was another movie that came out right around the same time that was about the same thing. A guy that got the electric chair and came back. There was Shocker, and I can't think of the other movie. There was another movie that was like they came out within like 6 months of each other. It was one of those weird things where it was like basically the same plot, but different actors. God, why can't I think of it? No, not Fallen. Yeah, Robert Forster died last. Was it 2 years ago now? Ernest goes. No, it wasn't Ernest Goes to Jail. I gotta look it up now. I hate taking it to Google. I feel like such a failure. Frighteners, Michael J. Fox. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to, and I just for whatever reason I've never seen it. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to find this. How can you look something up where you don't even know the name of it? Oh, I can find it because I know the actor in it. Now, let's see if anybody's come up with it yet. This is driving me crazy. The guy from Blade Runner's in it. and then I think his name is Brian James. He's in a lot of stuff. Always plays a heavy. Brian James. Let's see. Now, if I look at his IMDb, I'm going to find it. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat right now. Give me a second. I got to find this goddamn thing. God damn, this guy. He's in so many movies. It's one of these guys where you got to scroll so far to get to the... I'm going to 1989, I think. Let's see. Tango and Cash he was in. He was in another 48 Hours. This better not be some movie that I dreamt of. God, he's got so much shit. Okay. No. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm not finding it. Unless it was another actor that looks like him. Anyway, whatever. Fuck. I'm not going to get caught up in this. Whatever. Fuck, I can't find it. It was like Shocker. It was a guy who went to the electric chair, turned into electricity or something like that, and came back to life. And that's basically the movie. And I'll figure it eventually. I'll figure it out eventually. I feel like I'm going to be Perry with playing with his desk or plugging something in while I look this up. I know, totally in the weeds. It happens. We're all in the weeds every now and again. Perry was in the weeds a lot of times tonight, but sometimes I just let him go in there, and I was like, oh, where are we gonna go? But I never saw the original Swamp Thing. I only saw the sequel because that was on HBO all the time. I basically saw a lot of movies that were just on HBO a lot. I never saw any Chud movie. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just have a weakness for, like, if I go with genre of horror, I just go, I like classic stuff too. Oh, and like last year, I watched all the original Universal horror movies, like the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, all that stuff, and I liked those a lot because I hadn't seen them. Some of them I haven't seen at all, and I definitely hadn't seen them without commercials, and I definitely hadn't seen them in 1080p or whatever I watched them. Eggs and Such says, TomB, watch the Michael Gross video of the FBI chase where he was robbing banks. They killed people in their vehicles and robbed banks, and they cut the guy's throat. I kind of remember that. What was that called? I like some Hammer horror films because they were just so disposable. But I think I downloaded like a Hammer collection like years ago and was going through a bunch, and I hadn't seen them. And was Pulse the one with Joey Lawrence? And it was like something coming through the TV. I vaguely remember that because, again, that's another one that was on. That was another movie that was on HBO all the time. The Horror Show. Is that the movie we're talking about? Let me see. Sounds familiar. Yeah, this is it. Lance Hendrickson's in it, by the way. Detective McCarthy finally catches Meat Cleaver Max, a serial killer who promises revenge during his execution. Nonetheless, a Uh, Parapsychologist tells the detective that the only hope of stopping Max for good is to destroy his spirit. That's it. Oh, and it does have Brian James in it. I just couldn't find it because I wasn't looking for that title. I was looking for a title that's something else. That's it. The Horror Show, also 1980. So I was right on the year, 1989. I was definitely correct on the year. But I'm disappointed in myself for not remembering that. But yeah, so Horror Show is a ripoff. Well, how can it be a ripoff though? They came out the same year, so they were both in production. It's like Tombstone versus Wyatt Earp. Like they both did a Wyatt Earp movie like within the same 6 months of each other. One is infinitely better than the other, of course. But I do love those examples. Like there's like movies that come out within a year of each other that are the same topic or the same thing just done differently. It doesn't really happen anymore the way it used to. It used to be more of a thing. But okay, the Horror Show. I'd like to. That would be a good double feature. The Horror Show and Shocker back to back. I don't remember which was probably Shocker's the better one, right? But that's just a guess. But now I'm interested. Now I think I might add these to my list this year. I think I want to do a horror show. I mean, even though it might be a complete waste of time, I might want to do a horror show. Because I remember in the trailer or the commercial for the Horror Show, Brian James gave a really evil laugh. And I remember that scaring me, but I don't think I ever saw it. We should watch some horror movies on Halloween. Some Halloween movies on Discord. Yeah, how do we do that? Let's do that. Can we do that? Can we do a Halloween, not Halloween, but can we do some horror movies on Discord and just like hang out and watch those? That would be cool. PCL horror stream. Yeah. If enough people into it. I know some people just don't like horror. Some people just don't give a shit. But good ones. They don't have to be A-list either. They can be like shitty. Like I like finding like the movie like the movies I never heard of. And that's why again I like Joe Bob, or like I'll go back and I'll go on YouTube and I'll look at like old Siskel and Ebert reviews for like horror movies, and they usually hate most of them. Like actually, if you want to entertain yourself, watch Siskel and Ebert review any of the Friday the 13th movies. They both sound like they want to throw up in their mouth. They're so disgusting because they just don't get it. But for some reason they love the first Halloween. Actually, not for some reason. The first Halloween's like a real movie, and then everything else is just trying to be that. But man, they just hate all those movies. We should watch a movie that like we got to find one that none of us has ever seen. Like just a complete like not a movie that anybody knows. Or maybe we do. Maybe we watch one that everybody knows. I don't know. I'd be up for that. We'd have to do it on like a day off. A PCL day off. Or maybe we do it like next Friday, just end the stream immediately, no after hours, and then just go to Discord and watch a movie. Maybe we do that. Or we could probably watch it on here if it's on Amazon. But maybe Discord's the better venue for that. But I think that's good. I like that. By the way, somebody Cha-Cha says the bank job. I've never seen the bank job. I've only seen that one little lousy scene that he's in. And he said he spent 2 weeks on the set. I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that I doubt that there was a set. And B, I doubt he was there for more than 2 hours. Demons I've never seen. Oh, but and a rule: no Rob Zombie movies. That's my only caveat. No torture horror and no Rob Zombie. Watch Bone Tomahawk. It has Kurt Russell and Grizzly as far. Well, if it has Kurt Russell, I'm in it as anyway. Yeah, Larry says I have to learn Discord. I'm such an old man. Yeah, I guarantee you, Larry, I'm older than you, and I learned it. And if I can learn it, you can learn. It's cool. I like it a lot. And I really this time last year I knew of Discord, but I didn't know really what Discord was really until the PCL Discord started. But Discord's great. It's a great community. You should. It doesn't take. It's so intuitive. You just once you join and you're in there, it's cool. But it's just that's a good way to put it, Jordan. It's IRC but better. If you remember IRC, I think do people still use IRC? The Pluto app has. Does the Pluto app have a dedicated horror channel? It's so rare for me to tune away from the Price is Right channel that I never really explore the other channels on there. You know, I gotta say, I mentioned Raising Cain with shit. What's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy who stars in Raising Cain. The guy. I can't think of his name. I'd love to see Raising Cain. It's one of those movies I always have had on my list in the back of my head, but I've never seen it. Frailty's also really good. Lithgow, yeah, John Lithgow. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Raising Cain, 1992, by the way. It's a 1992 movie. Came out, I believe it came out. See, sometimes I can get it to the month. I think it came out in August of 92, and I remember that because I was supposed to see. I was in high school. I was supposed to see. Lollapalooza, and they had like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Pearl Jam and whoever else was playing on that year, and it got rained out, and we took a bus to the movie theater, and the movie theater was playing Raising King. So that's another reason why I'm really good with years on things is I associate it with life events. So I remember, like, even if I didn't see the movie, I still know when it came out because I remember hearing about it, and I associate it with what grade I was in or what I was doing when I'd see a commercial for it on TV or something like that. So it's just the associative memory that brings it together that makes me, I think. You saw Raising King in the theater. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because it was one of those movies that was like a cult hit. I don't think it did very well in the theater. Ricochet with Denzel and Lithgow doesn't hold up. It's very 90s. I tried to watch it about 5 years ago. It did not. It just didn't. It felt very of its time. And there's a lot of movies that kind of are like that. Movies that came out in the 90s that are just, of their era, and you can watch them and enjoy them. But if you're watching it if you're watching it with a new person, it doesn't. It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off well. It was just very. I don't know, dated. It's funny, Astro, you mentioned the original Pet Sematary scared the shit out of me. I don't know how it holds up now because I can never bring myself to rewatch it. Nothing scared me more than Pet Sematary when I was a kid. That's a movie. Say a movie that scared the shit out of me. It was that. George says, "Do I any Clive Barker movies other than Hellraiser?" Well, Candyman is Clive Barker, the original Candyman, right? I can't think. What are other Clive Barker movies? I don't know anything outside of was Sleepwalkers Clive Barker? Sponsor grab a glass of red wine. Yeah, I wish I can drink wine. I just can't. I'm so not a mind drinker. I'm not going to go long tonight, but I'll throw this out there. Does anybody want to call into the stream, and we'll continue the conversation? It would have to be via Skype. If you have Skype, I know a lot of people don't have Skype, but if you want to, I'll throw it out there if we want to do that. Never saw Nightbreed. Oh, that's Clive Barker. I never saw it. I know it. I can picture it in my head. I know the video box for Nightbreed. And off the top of my head, I'll say 1990 for Nightbreed. But no, I never saw it. What is Nightbreed about? Favorite John Carpenter that isn't Halloween or The Thing would be Big Trouble in Little China. In the Mouth of Madness, I'd like to see. Arachnophobia is comedy, isn't it? Mumbles. Isn't Arachnophobia more I like that movie a lot. I think it's. I love the. Who's the guy in it? What's the guy's name that plays the doctor? That he's also in Warlock. What the fuck's his name? He's really good. You don't see him in it. Julian Sands is really great in that movie, and it's got a great soundtrack. It's great. If you haven't seen Arachnophobia, it's great. Jeff Daniels is great, and it's awesome. They never did a sequel, right? Like a direct-to-video sequel. And John Goodman actually has a pretty good comedic turn in it as the exterminator. It's one of those movies. I guess Disney owned it. It was the Hollywood Studios, Hollywood Movies, or something like that. You know, I mean, I guess they were big in like the early '90s, but then they just kind of went away. But I remember that was one of their attempts. Hollywood Pictures, I think it was. But yeah, it's not scary, but it's great. I wouldn't say it's Halloween season worthy. I think it's kind of a year round thing. It's very good, really entertaining. Yeah, Boxing Helena was so. Boxing Helena is kind of torture-ish before Saw. That's right. I forgot about that. What do you guys think about? Speaking of In the Mouth of Madness, shit. Why can't I think of the name of the movie now? Sam Neill's in it. What's the? Oh shit! Why? I'm sorry, my brain's not. I know it came out in '98. It's the Sam Neill movie with Lawrence Fishburne. They're on the ship, and like the spaceship, and it's kind of like Alien, but the ship goes to like hell in a way. Fuck! Why can't I think of it? I think we've even talked about it. I've been thinking about that movie lately. I don't know why. I wanted to. Event Horizon. It came to me. And there's supposed to be like a longer cut of it. Yeah, not Ghost Ship, Event Horizon. It is, I think Event Horizon for a 90s sci-fi movie is so much better than people give it credit for. Mainly, again, I think it's one of those movies, horror sci-fi, where the cast, I don't think it's overrated. I don't, because I mean, I think the problem with when you say these things are overrated, like Halloween 3, you can almost say is overrated because it has this second wind to it, where Halloween 3 was slammed for years and there was this underground cult that loved it. Like, hey, no, it's better. But now that underground cult is so big, it's almost like the trendy thing to say it's great. And the same thing with Event Horizon. But I think it's legitimately good. It's definitely the best Paul W.S. Anderson movie because he's pretty much garbage outside of that movie. But and then they say there's a longer cut of it that's been lost, which is terrible because the movie, even watching the movie, you could tell that it's cut down a little too much. But yeah, it's a shame that they can never reassemble that movie the way it is. But anyway, but even as it is, I think it's great. But you got Sam Neill, you got Lawrence Fishburne, and it's a really good movie. And I think if you put a more generic cast in there, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it. It would just be typical '90s garbage, and there was a lot of garbage in the '90s. But no, I think it's one of those movies where the cast is really good. Now, is it on the level of Alien? No, it's not. But it's definitely worth watching if you've never seen it. It's got some great moments in it. I don't know why I was thinking about it. I was thinking I haven't seen it in a long time because I've been always holding out for like if a longer cut ever comes out, and I want my memory of it to be as barren as possible. But now I'm at the point where I'm kind of in the mood to see it again, and even when I talk about it, I want to see it. That's a good call. Yeeman says the Spear was a good cast, but Matt, that's true. It was a good cast, but it was people that don't belong in a movie together. Like Dustin Hoffman, Sharon Stone, and Samuel L. Jackson. They don't have any chemistry with each other at all. It's okay. The Spear is kind of a ripoff of both The Abyss and Leviathan. And Leviathan's a movie I like because that's another genre where you got underwater horror. And that's another too. And actually, Astro brings up Deep Rising. Deep Rising and Leviathan came out within the same year. Two movies that are kind of the same thing. And for my money, Leviathan's the better movie. That's with Peter Weller. But Spears just, I mean, it was okay. It's one of those movies I would never revisit. There's no reason to watch it again. It's like it's fine. It was fine. It was fine. But to me it was derivative of movies that are much better. I never saw Cube. Oh wow, okay. Joey sent me a thing. There is a Critters TV series. Ugh, that just seems so wrong. Critters return to Earth searching for a lost friend that was left behind. That's a good plot point. They land in Burbank and soon torment a group of high schoolers and their families. Could that be any good? 2019 series, Jesus. Where does this air? I don't know. I don't know about that. I think Critters is best in the 80s. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not a big Abyss fan. I think the Abyss, I never really got the Abyss, to be honest with you. As much as I like James Cameron, it's fine, but yeah, never, as you say, I never got it either. And I never saw the extended cut. I know there's an extended cut of it. Leviathan was just alien underwater. Yeah, it was absolutely. It was, but I liked it. There was something about being underwater that was creepier than space for me. I don't know why. Not that I'm saying Leviathan's better than Alien. It's absolutely not. They land near Haagen Dazs in Palm Springs. Maybe. Yeah. By the way, I will say this: he was, I wanted him to tell a '92 story because I knew a lot of new viewers were watching because we were being restreamed on YouTube, and I would say both Haagen Dazs and '92, some of the better, some of the better tellings of both stories. I think one of the best '92 telling he's told on this stream, period. He was very animated, added some new bits here and there. Really good, and a great Haagen-Dazs telling. George, sorry, trying to ask again. Would TomB or any others classify hard candy as torture porn? I would not. I would not, but I could see why you would say that. Not, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just pulled it up. Maybe I did see it when it came. Man, I'm thinking twice about it. Actually, maybe I might have to walk that back. 2005. Short says you really got into voicing the turd tonight. I know. You know, it's funny. I'm one of those people. I'm totally sick of '92, the '92 thing. I really am. But as he was telling it tonight, like he did such a great job of that. I was like, oh, I don't know. There's still there's something to be said for that stupid story. You know, I mean, I'm completely over it. But yeah, I did like it, and I'm sure and imagine obviously to us we've heard that quite a bit, but imagine the however many people were watching on the restream, they're all hearing that for the first time, which is crazy. Jack Frost at Christmas horror movie or Halloween. Halloween. I don't buy into the Christmas horror genre, really. I mean, I know it exists, but I think they all fall into Halloween horror, me personally. Yeah, it's true. It is slightly different each time. There's just a slight nuance or something, like even the fact that how RC was positioned at the desk or something. Like it's just, yeah, it was good, and he was into it. I thought he was going to tell a quick version. Sponge, I'll pay $29.99 to call into After Hours if you'll have me. You don't have to pay, Sponge. Just DM me your Skype name, and I'll get you on. And I can't. I know these are always famous last words. I really can't go long tonight because I gotta be up fairly early tomorrow, and I'm always a zombie on Saturdays because you guys keep me up all night. It's fun. I'll share this because Perry was talking about like medical stuff, and I said to Perry like I wasn't really feeling well today. I'm feeling a little better now. I was feeling horrible yesterday, horrible, and I had really severe shortness of breath, and I think I might have even said it to Garrett or Joey or something, and I was like, hey, slight chance I might have to cancel tonight because I was feeling rough. Like I almost didn't sleep at all last night. Like really, like last night I was like so bad shortness of breath where I was getting dizzy spells. Like just like, oh my God, like what's going on? And I have it a little bit now. Like if I take a big breath, like it stops a little bit, but it's much better than it was. And I was trying to figure it out. Now listen, who knows? It could be COVID or this and that and the other thing. But so Wes Most the other day, he asked me to. Larry says Tom the birthday cake segment is a pivotal charm to story. I agree. Wes Most asked me to record some stuff, as Perry for his news reports, and so I did a long take of the '92 story, and then I did a thing about I don't know, Perry talking about Wes Most, and it was kind of just quick, and I really raged out towards the end of the Perry one where it was the part on the newscast where it's like, yeah, I killed Wes Most and I do it again and I do it again, and I really went for it to the point where my throat was shredded after that, absolutely shredded, and I felt a little winded Wednesday night, even during the stream. And the next day I felt terrible. And I think I pulled a muscle in my throat doing Perry. And that's what was causing the shortness of breath, because now it's actually a lot better. So I was thinking like, oh my God, I feel like I was thinking like some serious thing, like, oh my God, I could be having like, there's something going on. Like I was panicking a little bit because it was like, it hurt to breathe in, and your vocal cords and those are all muscles. And I think I went so ape shit as Perry that I pulled something in my throat that led to, shortness of breath and all this stuff. And, so it was just, it was crazy. And now it's getting better. I've never really had that. but it made me almost appreciate, like when Perry does his Fred Sanford thing, like, yeah, that yelling like that takes a lot out of you physically. And I'm not a yeller. I don't certainly not like that. So I was completely famished after. I was just like, and I think I did that around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like my time. And then, I had a couple hours for the stream, but I was feeling it during the stream, but the next day especially. And it was in like my upper chest, like right above like your lungs. I think I just did damage, and now it's healing. Like I still have it a little bit, but that's my self-diagnosis, by the way. I could be completely wrong. But that's my self-diagnosis. Okay. I'll give you a buzz and we can wrap with this. Hang on. I got to switch to my personal account. Give me a second. Okay. You sent me an email, you said? Let me pull it up. Are you all back to normal now in New Orleans? I guess I could ask you that on the phone. I don't have your email yet. Or did you message it to me? Oh, I got it. Okay. Sorry. You messaged it to me. You did not. I sent you my Skype, which is my email. I interpreted that as you emailed me. Sorry, that's my bad. Boom. Gonna call Frank. I won't read your email address the way P. By the way, I was still getting dick pics yesterday after Perry gave out my email address. Luckily, that stopped. And then one person sent me boobs because they felt sorry for me, I think. All right, I'm calling. Please have a good connection. You didn't even answer. Did you get that and you didn't answer it in time, or did you not get it at all? Oh, Perry took a lover. Aloha from Kona. Aloha to you. That's awesome. What did you get blocked from? What are we talking about? Try this again. Saying Frank's pulling a Tracy. Oh, someone's in trouble. Hold on a second. Frank, did you just disappear, or did you get that? What's this one? Chris Fontaine says, he wrote me a message, I can't type on Discord for whatever stupid fucking reason, but I wanted to suggest basket case for Halloween. Not Discord, I mean Twitch. Why can't you type on Twitch? Well, we'll get that that sorted out. Yeah, Basket Case is awesome. We talked about Basket Case, and it did. I think there's 3 Basket Case sequels. No, I couldn't get through. I'll try you again. I'm gonna try it again. I'll do it again. It says it's waiting for you to accept the invitation. I'll try it again. Calling it. I think Mons got angry when I said DGAF about Tom. Oh, don't give a fuck about Tom? Well, that's okay. You don't have to give a fuck. I don't know how many... let me try a different way. How about this? I'll do a meeting instead of a call. Give me a second. Fuck. Yeah, I guess you can probably call me. I'm going to try you one more time. Don't do video, just do audio. You there?
Hello?
Are you there? Hello? I hope I didn't go through all this and then your connection stinks. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to do one more thing.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you good. Okay, good. We got it. So, how are you doing after post-storm? How long did that take?
A little while. This power was out for like a week, and then we came back, and it was a goddamn shit show. But we're doing pretty good. How is your friend doing from that in New Orleans?
He's good. It took him a long time to come back. He went to Florida for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just. Perry took a lower. Check my post. Ain't no bigger Tom fan than. I'll take care of that then. Can you remind me to send a message about that? Not some people, but sometimes when the chat blows up or something like that, sometimes there's an over tendency to be cautious and block trolls, even though PCL doesn't really have trolls. It's very weird that we don't have trolls. We don't have trolls in abundance, once in a blue moon. But I'll take care of that immediately. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, so he, my friend Joe in New Orleans, they had to drive to like Florida and like stayed with his wife's parents for I think 12 days, and then I guess they just got word that their power came on and they came back, but it's brutal.
Yeah, it was bad. We still got like branches up in the front yard, and it's all fucked up, but we still got power.
You hung out, right? You stayed the whole time, right?
I stayed until Wednesday after the hurricane passed through. Yes, it was fucking scary, dude. It was like really strong.
You were watching the stream, right? When the when the whole thing went down.
Perry called me during the fucking hurricane, and I was not bullshitting. I was on the porch during the hurricane.
God damn.
Yeah. And that was the early part, and it got way worse after that. I was like, fuck.
Right. So, favorite horror movie?
I'd say Friday the 13th. My aunt, I'm a little older than you, and my aunt took me and my cousin there, to the first Friday the 13th.
You saw the first Friday the 13th in the theater?
In a theater, and we were fucking 12 or something. I don't know. I'm like 3 years older than you, 2 years older than you.
Okay.
So yeah, we saw it, and that shit was crazy, like traumatic. I was like 12, and I saw
See,
fucking the Friday 13th.
see, 12 is so young to see that, but I think now it's like it's even kids are exposed to even worse stuff
Oh yeah,
at a
way
young age. So I
worse.
feel like that sounds traumatizing, but I think by compared to today's standards, it's probably nothing.
Oh yeah, that ain't shit now. Like they got all kind of shit going on.
Yeah, and also they have so much. They have so much. They have so much access to everything. It's just like it's
Yeah,
crazy. I gotta say, if you're 2 years older than me, you don't look it. 'Cause I've met you in person a time or two, and you how do you maintain your youthful glow?
lots of drinking, and
I was gonna say, is there a skincare regimen?
no, there should be, but no, lots of drinking and good genes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
By the way,
I turned 50 a week before Perry, actually.
oh goddamn! Well, we gotta have a big celebration for you. That's great. Happy early birthday. It's never too early. 50 is a big one. There's very few big birthdays, especially if you're a dude. I'd say
Yeah,
21, 30, 40, and 50. That's it.
yeah, and then you're dead after that.
Well, then it just doesn't matter. But like, you could turn 40, and then everything between 40 and 50 doesn't matter. Who cares? 50 is
I
a
agree.
milestone, and then once you get to 50, though, it's like, yeah, it's like who cares? Not that who cares, but it's just there's no big ones after that. 60, 70, 80,
Right.
et cetera,
Uh,
and
I totally agree.
and like, 'cause
When,
I don't think what do you do for your birthday?
when
Like, I don't make a big deal out of my birthday. Do you make a big deal out
I'm
of yours?
still not, I'm not, I'm still thinking about it because like my wife wants to do something big, and I'm like, fuck it. I just want to have my friends over and like eat food and like get trashed, So
Yeah.
we're still thinking about it.
How long have you been married?
It'll probably be like backyard, like get trash fest or something.
That sounds good. Does your birthday
Yeah.
fall on a stream day?
I think it's on a Thursday. It's 11/11, so because Perry's is on 11/7 right after that. But
Larry says Larry Hoffman said turn 50 in the thick of the pandemic in
yeah,
July. I felt so bad for all the people that had birth. I had a birthday like right before the pandemic, and I feel like I got away with it. And then everybody else had birthdays. People that are into their birthday, but 50 is a big one. So
yeah,
that's kind of it does suck when thing. By the way, Perry Tickle Lover, I took care of that. I took care of that thing that the other account was banned, so it's completely taken care of, and I apologize about that if there was a misunderstanding.
no.
Not you, Frank. You would never be.
Oh no.
I'll tell you what Frank's favorite hobby is. Frank's favorite hobby is to create Instagram accounts of beautiful ladies and contact Perry.
You probably should thank me because I am not one of the ones that sent you dick pics just the other night.
No, I know you're not. No. And by the way, the funny thing about people sending me, at least there was two people that sent me Perry's dick pics. I had seen both, so that was not.
I have a secret folder on my phone, like because like I'll plug it in and I have it set up where it just pulls up random photos as you're charging your phone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna be with a coworker one day in my phone and be, in my car and be like, oh, hey, there's a fucking dick on your fucking phone, and so
Right. So
so
let me ask you this, because I'm
mhm,
curious, because
mhm.
I've looked at Perry's Instagram a couple of times where I like either I've had to log into his account to post something or whatever, and I never like again I try not to breach privacy, but occasionally I'll catch something like or I'll straight up ask him like, hey, who are you talking to? There is a girl from up north a little bit, and her and I have been talking. Yeah, she's a cute girl. She works at the and I'm just like, what's the story here? And then you look at the account and it's like no followers. It's like clearly a troll account. So how long does it take when you're in a conversation? And again, please, if you're listening, please don't Frank's a bit of a professional and a veteran, but please don't catfish Perry because it's such a burden. But having said that, how long does it take before he like? Is there any vetting process whatsoever? Give me an average conversation of a newly created account and you're interacting with him. Well, how does that go?
All right. I'll give you two examples. Like the first time I did, it was I pretended to be Michael Majestic's wife, Kathy
Okay.
Majestic.
Right.
And that took about a day and a half. Like, it was just like back and forth because she still lives in his apartment complex, and so I was just like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was just like, continuing, going.
Like what
And
was the
then
conversation though?
it was like, I live upstairs still. I know you. I remember when we used to, we fucked back in the day and stuff, and my husband's out of town, my kids are sleeping, and he's like, okay, cool, like, can we come? And it was many times he was like about to come over right then.
Oh my God.
Like a lot of times, and I was like, no, do not, my kids are here, this and that, so shit like that. So
I understand, I can wait.
yeah. Right, so it took a long time for that one, and then but that took forever, and then I was like, oh, come, I'll cook you dinner, this and that, and so, but so that took like a day and a half. But this Gina Carano last one took like 10 minutes.
10 minutes before you saw the magic?
Yes.
Oh
I was like, it took like, I was like, hey, and like he was convinced it was her for some fucking reason. Like I just
whatever put that in his head. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, God damn, are you fucking serious? That was that quick. So, and there was like 2 or 3 others that, like, it didn't take that long. But, and then one thing for one of the ones in the middle, like I just, obviously you can download any naked picture of anyone, right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
And so, he would be like, okay, send me a picture of you, and then I'd be like, okay, here you go, and then like I'd download a random picture.
It's not that he's vetting it. Like, send me a picture of you holding today's New York Post.
Right, exactly. So, but then there was that one where, well, I don't want to give too much away, but like,
yeah, you can leading up
to the Randy Gallagher thing,
right?
Where he was like, and it was not anywhere near the same person that he thought it was,
right.
And then eventually I just sent him the one that had a penis on it, so it was great.
Is there a time where he actually shut you down and said that you're bullshit? It didn't work.
Not,
it didn't work.
Not before giving me dick pics, no.
What about after?
Yes, immediately after most of them, because I would always,
really?
That one that one, the Randy Gallagher one, he sent me one, immediately after. He was like, why would you pretend to be interested in me if you have a dick or something like that?
Oh, that's a bigger story, but yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Other ones, but the Gina Carano one, like, I kind of, you probably read it all though.
No, I didn't, but I know there's more than one Gina Carano.
Yeah, no. The one where he sent me the dick pics, he was like, oh, well, he went on and he was like, you are just a freak, you are just a fan, and so.
Right. It could be also, like, sometimes he'll call me, and I don't like being interrupted when we're not, like, on the stream, like, he'll, like, Tom, Gina Carano, I've been talking, and she wants me to spread my butthole because she's like really turned on by I don't know why she's into assholes. Like actually my actual butthole. She's talking about all this stuff. She was like, do you think it'd be a good idea if I just fuck it, just send her a picture of my asshole, and then depending on my mood, I'll be like, well, Perry, let's put this together. What are the chances that Gina Carano?
And then you like it. Fuck yeah, do it.
So, you know what? Most of the time, he's already done it, and he's just calling me in hindsight. But but there's been other occasions where I had to, again, because sometimes I post social stuff to his accounts, and I don't really go through all of his stuff, but there's occasionally where he doesn't. How do I put this? He doesn't necessarily discern what account is what. So, like, he'll write the real Gina Carano,
right,
and then he'll be like tomorrow he could be, what the fuck is with this sex change bullshit, and or he'll just send a picture like, honey, and then another account will write, and that'll put it to the top of the list of the DMs, and then he'll continue with that. You know what I mean? So it's like, he doesn't understand that. Well, let's just say he doesn't understand social media, period. But he doesn't understand. Like, he doesn't look at his DMs and says like, oh, wait a second, there's 5 Gina Caranos, and why am I like? He just continues the conversation each one. But anyway, what I found interesting is like, let's even take it away from like catfishing, like even like just guys. Like, somebody would write him as Donald Trump, let's say, and I mean like 2 years ago, let's say, when Donald Trump's in office, and he's writing, like, somebody writes this Trump, and it would be very simple, like, hey, Perry, thanks for all your support. Like, it's an honor, and then he'd write the real President Trump, and write, and if you look at the, from my perspective, when I open it up, like, logged in as him, I see all these messages, they're all unanswered. Except he wrote once about Nancy Pelosi, and he told the whole, like, he was typing the whole story, like, I had experience with that bitch when she was a judge, and there was a notification at the bottom. There was the check mark that it was actually read, like it was. Now, probably, I don't know if it was read by actual Donald Trump or whoever. I don't know if somebody was controlling his Instagram, because I don't think he was as big on Instagram as he was on Twitter. But there was a check mark that it was read. Like, somebody read it. Like, somebody at least in the White House read it.
That motherfucker probably read it. Because he's that crazy.
It's possible. And I just would have liked to have seen the face of the person who read it. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? And that happens every now and again. Like, there'll be he'll write a blue check mark person, and that person will read it. Like, it'll be checked off, and there will be no reply, but they've read it. So that's the thing about, like, Perry. And again, it's weird to have to explain this to new people, and you get this, but like, even the Cafe Lou thing, like, everything Perry sees on whether it's Instagram or Twitter, he thinks it's I can't even get it out
directly to him.
Yes, you can explain it. You please explain it.
It is directly to him. Every fucking thing on there. That's why I love, like, when I see, like, somebody either respond to him, like JoJo Baby or fucking, or like Jesse Cakes or something. Like, I will definitely share that. Like, every once in a while, they'll actually, like, give him like a follow back or whatever the fuck it is. But oh my God, he's a fucking moron.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he doesn't do himself any favors with the social media stuff, I'll say that. But so basically, even with the Cafe Lou thing, it was like he somehow ended up following this account. And that's the other thing he does too. I had it clamped. I don't know if he's still doing it on Twitter, but there was a point, like, I've been applying for him to get verified on Twitter, which I think he should get. and they wouldn't let it because he followed too many people. And then I look like I got a rejection thing, like, oh, you following, like it looks suspicious, like the account looks suspicious. And I was like, how many people is this motherfucker following? And he was following like 35,000 people. To the point where I had to get an app that I had to pay for to like steamroll unfollow every single person he was following and then start from scratch because it was so ridiculous. Because in his mind, everybody he clicked follow on would follow him back. So he's like, I'm like, well, what are you doing? I call him, I'm getting followers. How are you getting followers? I'm just clicking follow. And by the way, that can work. Sometimes as a hustle, like there are some people that do that. Like if you follow 100 people, maybe 5 to 10 of those people will follow you back for whatever reason.
Right.
But Larry says he won't follow Tammy Faye Baker. You're dead. I like when he acknowledges that somebody is dead, but still talks to them as if they're alive. Like.
What was it? Like some old actor recently, he keeps saying like thank you, and I'm like, he's fucking been dead for like 20 years.
Mickey Rooney?
Yeah, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney is no longer with us.
He's like, oh, thank you, Mickey Rooney, and I'm like, oh my god, this motherfucker's been dead for like 15 years.
But then there's other people that die recently. Like he did that with again, and he's such a news hound. He knows what's going on in the world more than I do, really. And who is that? Who is the comedian that died like over the summer? Really old vaudeville. God, what the fuck's his name? The Jewish comedian.
Fucking, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
He talked like this, and he had a whole routine where he talked like this, and he had to this, and he was loud.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat will know. I don't feel like looking it up.
Yeah, starts with a G, I think.
Jackie Mason mumbles
Jackie
at
Mason.
it. But
there you go. G
literally
sound.
the week that he died, or like 2 days after, like somebody posted like Jackie Mason. It's like, Jackie, oh, it's an honor. You know, and I was like, man, you watched the news. It was all over the news. Like how do you not know? Like, you know, like how do you not know?
Yeah, and he also like maybe doubts that like Tammy Faye's still alive. You know, like, oh, wait, you know, every once in a while he'll respond and forget that she's dead.
There was a time he's like, show me a newspaper or something like that. He's like, I want a picture of you or something like he did. There was a seed of doubt. Like, hey, maybe this could have been an elaborate prank. And Larry says that he said Jim Baker's dead and he's totally alive. So he goes the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really fascinating the way he the way he works on social media. And I think ever since that Instagram thing that happened the other day where it went down, we gotta figure it out. He hasn't been able to go on Instagram, and I know it's driving him crazy because Instagram is his favorite thing, and he just all the he follows all these like titty accounts and
yeah. That's why I've been noticing. I've been trying to look, and he's like hasn't commented on shit for like the last week. I'm like, where the fuck is this dude? Like on like JoJo Baby and Jesse Cakes and fucking.
Yeah, I think it's driving him crazy. So maybe tomorrow I gotta look. I think he's just gotta like uninstall it and reinstall it or something like that.
All right, good. Get me back on those accounts, please.
Yeah, I mean, but who's the next? See, that's like all these things run its course, and like it's like even the Gina Carano thing has taken on so many lines. Like it's funny when I was watching whatever stream we aired last Monday on YouTube. It was like the one that's before Hot Amy Live. And I forgot, like, that was April, and he's way into Whitney Cummings at the time. Like, man, Whitney seems like a year ago.
That pissed me off so bad. I fucking hated that so much. I was like, shut the fuck up about Whitney Cummings.
Yeah,
She does not.
I wasn't into Whitney either. Except it did bring some amusement. I'm kind of into the Gina Carano in a weird way.
Yeah.
But after this runs its course, who's next?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there'll always be somebody else. I mean, fuck. It'll probably be via like a fucking tip comment.
See, Mumbles says it right. He talks to Wheezy Jefferson like she's a real person. She's like, Wheezy! He's like, say hi to George. Hope the cleanings are going well.
Loves the show.
Be nice to Florence. Tell the Willises I said hi.
Fucking idiot. Yeah, he'll. It'll probably be via tip comment. Whoever wants to come up with the next girlfriend, because Jean is like in Barstow, obviously, you know. So
Jean is on his radar because she was like fired for being like far right wing or something.
Right.
And
right,
I don't even know if he knew her from The Mandalorian. I think he knew her from like being mentioned on whatever. Like he watches all these he watches these crazy. I don't know who got him into it, but he used to send me links, and I just told him to flat out stop because it was annoying. He watches these like crazy far right like YouTube channels to the point where you can't even believe that they exist on YouTube, knowing what YouTube's all about. And like I'm telling you, like anybody out there, as conservative as you are, you would watch this stuff and be like, "Oh my god, like what? This is crazy."
Yeah.
And so anyway, I think she was mentioned on one of those, and that's how it got into his purview.
Now he's got a hard on for her forever now. Even as many times as like, you know, it's confirmed that she's in Barstow, she's fucking mowing drip, she's doing all like still.
Yeah, there's so many that's the thing too. There's so many conflicting things. Like there was one Sunday where like whatever race thing he wanted to see, like she was there in attendance, and then like 2 comments later, it was like Perry, I'm in Barstow, and I do this. You better not be. I'm like, well, wait a second. Wasn't she just at the rate? I don't know. And then sometimes he's completely coherent about it and writes it off. It just depends. It really depends on what version of Perry you're going to get.
Was it the Palm Springs fucking race or
No,
what was it called?
It was somewhere in Orange County, I think.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was watching that shit.
Somebody says I want Tess Holliday to be the main Perry bride after. Yeah. See, I like the version where Perry doesn't know. If you don't know, Tess Holliday is like this, like SSBBW.
Yes, I do.
I always think that's such a weird term too. Like there's BBW, which is big beautiful woman. I kind of get that. Okay, a big, and then there's SSBBW, which sounds like a ship, like the SSB, the SSBBW. She's classified as an SSBBW, which is supersized BBW. Not big enough for the regular BBW. She's a supersized BBW. So look her up. She's like this enormous model who has tattoos, and God bless her, by the way. But Perry had no idea. I like it. I like the version of where Perry thinks that she's this hot, babe he knew in Palm Springs or something.
Yeah. To be fair, she's huge. Like she has like a life-size Dolly Parton head on her arm. Like I didn't know who Yes, it is. I didn't know who the fuck it was, and I looked it up, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And then I put it on the Facebook thing, and people were like laughing their asses off and shit. But yes, he does. And then somebody blew it up. The dude that put it on there was like pissed because he was like, because people started saying like, "Oh, I'm huge,"
Right, there was one comment the other night that said, "Hey Perry, Tess Holliday is this enormous, model." Or whatever.
Yes, and
to that, I get like being upset about somebody like killing your bit, but I'm like, did you just sign up for this like yesterday? Like, did you just discover Perry last night?
He forgot about it as soon as it fucking happened. Yeah, exactly.
Because I totally feel for that. It's like, there's some things that I put together that he doesn't go for or whatever, and I'm just like, God damn it. But you move on, and he's always going to cycle back. It's like, if it doesn't work in hour 1, it might work again in hour 3. It's like...
Right. Exactly. Like every time, like I'm surprised every time, like he talks to me now. He's like, "Oh, Frank from New Orleans. Oh, hey, how's it going?" But he forgot like the last time I fucking totally pissed him off. Like
Right.
every time. I'm
Right.
like, I'm gonna piss you off in about 5 minutes, and he just doesn't remember that.
Well, those are the calls too, where it's like the slow rolls where they're like like chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, and then it could be like, yeah, dude. So, why did you suck that guy's cock? Or goodbye. And then there's this crazy delay that I've noticed when he decides to hang up on you. I think he can't. It's not instantaneous. Like
No.
there's the old school hang up on like before, like hang ups were so more cool before cell phones, where you can actually feel the hang up on the other end, like, so like if somebody slammed the phone down, you felt it, you heard it.
Yeah.
Now it's like you just
Yeah.
go boop, but it takes him that, like, he has the phone far away. He's like, I'm hanging up on you, and then you can get so much more in by the time he has to reach for the phone, get it back, and then like peck at the screen to figure out how to hang up. And then sometimes that doesn't even work. And then I like the people that are like, "Hey, I'm still here." Fuck you. It's
Like he fucked up and missed the fucking hang up button. I just assumed it was you telling him, because like a couple times he seemed like he was pressing it, and I was like, just assumed it was you on the phone telling him, "Don't do it."
Yeah, well, usually if I'm sitting down watching, I'm like, don't hang up on the guy, don't hang up on the guy. And then other times I'm like, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's, we gotta move on. But then there's times like I'll get up and I'll leave the room and I'll go use the bathroom. I'll have a drink or something like that, and I'll still be listening to the stream, and but I'll not be, I'm completely disengaged to it, and I can take a little breather, and then when he starts getting work, like, or it could be you or the other, whoever it is on the phone, and I could be in the kitchen or something like that, and they'll start like working them up, like, and you did this, and like, oh shit, I gotta rush back in there, and I was like, now I know he's gonna hang up, and I gotta come back in, and then there's sometimes where I got a little too carried away, where I'm like, where did I put that pen? Maybe it's in the car. And I'll go outside and I'll like go in my car and I'll be looking and I'll still be listening to the stream, and then I'll hear silence and I'm like, oh shit, like I flew too close to the sun, and then I come back and look at the screen and he's just staring, like he's just like,
yeah.
So what do you folks
pissed off?
What do you guys like? He hangs up and then he'll say like, so what now? And I've
Like,
said to
pissed
him, like,
off.
there might be times where you need to, engage with the stream a little bit after you hang up. And he's like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Dummy. He does.
it is getting hot here. Boy, it's going to get up to 97 on Sunday. And, boy, it's just,
Yeah. So the one where I was like, it was my idea to like recite the 92 story to him.
Right.
I thought that was a genius idea, but then he let it go the entire time, and then eventually took over. I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, so you answered." So that's the only way you can really do it now, like, because he's got it in his mind. He ain't saying it no more.
Well, he said it tonight.
Yeah, he did, of course. Well, he was forced to, because it was a.
Yeah, but he didn't. There was no gun to his head.
It was a catch-22.
It was it. And like Opium Death says, Perry will listen to anything if it comes from a woman. Yeah, that's the way to do the 24-hour stream, by the way. Just load it with calls from women, and he'll stay on for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I love
anytime,
that.
yeah.
I know I poke fun, but I actually like that girl Chelsea who calls in. I think she's very good. But man, those are some marathon calls. Like, they're like, I could literally go to the store and come back. Like
she almost got me. Like, do I have the record? Because mine was like 20 minutes.
Ooh, do you have the?
The one the other night was like over 20
I
minutes.
feel like one of her, not this week, not this past Sunday, but I feel like the Sunday before, hers was crazy long. It felt like 40 minutes or something like that. But I'm saying it felt like that. I don't know if it was. I don't. That's a good question. You would definitely be up there. So let me ask you this before we wrap. What is your favorite reoccurring PCL thing that does not get old for you?
Shit. Hiding shit in places that he forgets about, I think.
Right. That's good.
Because he always will forget it.
I was surprised he didn't find, because it had been in there long enough at this point, because I never heard him mention the pizza that was in the boot. I was shocked that pizza was not in the boot tonight, because I thought for sure he was going to go over there. Like, God damn, and I was because my take on that is like, well, it'd be better for him to pull it out on the stream than finding it on a random day, and you never hear about it. But I guess he figured it out. Like the popcorn egg. I wonder if the egg is still in the popcorn tin. Guarantee you it is. The one from the other night that Susie had him put in the bear tin. That's guaranteed.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, definitely that's there, and that's gonna be there as long as you want it to be there.
Well, there's plenty too, and because I even did a hide and seek when I was there, and I know there are ones that I put in that are still there, and like Rick's egg that was in the toilet tank, guaranteed that's still there, and that's going to be there until the end of time. That's going to be there until the next tenant comes in, whenever that is.
Fuck yeah, it will. That's I don't know. There's so many things I like about it. That's one of my favorite. When I hear somebody say like, "Oh, put this there," I'm like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, do that."
Well, I like too that, like, I was trying to like come up with things for Wednesday, because Friday's Mailbag Friday. Yeah, Rick, your egg is still there, right? I was just talking about that. You're right. Your egg is definitely still there. But like I like, he's kind of the whole VIP thing, the whole VIP egg thing. He doesn't have, like, every time I think he's gonna fight, like, and people have been really creative with the placement, and there's just who was the one? Was it Curtis that did the one on the top of the trophy? Is that still there?
No, I don't think that's still there.
Did he take that off, I guess?
I do remember that though. Yeah, he will do whatever you tell him to do. Like, I agree with that.
Like, I'm just surprised with the VIP egg thing, because he was so anti-egg for a long time, and it's like, hey, one of the rules is when the VIP gets their name on an egg, they get to put it wherever they want in Perry's apartment. Which, if you take it from his perspective, it's like, what, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they don't get to do that. Like, no, I'm not. Like, put an egg with your name on it on my calendar. I'm not doing that. And he does. Yeah, it's just like which is great. It's one of the things I love about him. But there's going to be one where he says flat out no to, for whatever reason. But I can't think of like where it would be. Like, they've gone. So many things. Somebody asked, is he going to carve a pumpkin for Halloween? Yes, if I can get him one of those like carving things that is like childproof. So he doesn't cut his wrist. I mean, you've seen him opening packages. Can you imagine him hacking at a pumpkin? So he's got to get like a carver that is like literally childproof.
How has he not slit his wrist open with the fucking box cutter?
I don't know. I get a little worried sometimes, but he seems to have a method to it. Where
he pushes it away from him, I think.
What's weird to me, and I was noticing this tonight, is he sometimes opens package. He tries to open packages without the aid of a knife that clearly need it, and then he uses the knife when it's clearly not needed.
Right.
To open something you can easily tear. Like, he'll take the knife out to get like the lightest of paper open, but then there was a box tonight that he was trying to rip open with his hands. I'm like, okay, well, this is where you use a knife, but he wasn't. Like, it's so strange to me. And that's even entered my psyche when I get mail. Like, I had like an Amazon box that I got the other day, and I was having some struggles with it. And I was like, come on, fucking Perry would have this open by now. Let's go. And I was like talking to
Yeah.
myself. I was like, let's go. Scissors, let's go. Rip it open. And
That's when you know you're fucking up. If Perry did better than you at it, then you know you fucked up.
yeah, we should have like the next TomB, we should have like a mail opening contest, and that was like Rick, Garrett, and like Tony Hawk, like all try to open mail at the same time. And Perry has like the most complicated package.
I'm coming to LA for the next fucking TomB week. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know when that is.
Let me know when it is. I'm coming out.
All right, I'll let you know. Yeah, you'll. Oh, that was the one thing. You've been inside his apartment, right, or have you not? Were you ever there? Did you ever go to his apartment? Did I lose you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, did I lose you? You there, Frank? Hello? I think I lost Frank. Can you hear me? Hang on, let me try this.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened.
Were you ever in Perry's apartment?
Yeah, I went. Remember, I was there for I think it was the SummerSlam weekend.
Okay, right. That's right. On the day that the buses broke down or some shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we went out to the pool and like hung out for a little bit.
Right. Okay. So you've been in there. So, so you kind of know what it's like, and being in there, and like that Sunday last TomB week thing, and it's very few. Like it was me, it was Rick, it was Garrett, it was Tony Hawk, and
Tony Hawk, of course.
My friend Robert was there, and Tyler was there, and man, it was like so like there came a certain point where you just like there was such a vibe about it where it's like just being in there was so I can't describe it in words. Like there was an odor from the from that fruit. I forget the name of what was the name of that fruit? The durian.
Durian.
Fruit. There was an odor from the eggs. There was just like, I mean, I remember when I first walked in there that Wednesday, the stench of stale eggs hit me immediately, and again his sense of smell is dulled, and I had to go through I waited until the stream, but I had to go. I think I did it on the stream where I had to go hunting for what was smelling so bad, but it was that, and also it was hot, like it was boiling hot in there, and it's just. Yeah, it was just one of those things. So I don't know what the next TomB week will look like. The duck. Oh God! And by the way, I don't think he's here anymore. But Tony Hawk, man, you gotta he came in there and I didn't know Tony Hawk was coming because I wasn't checking. Because I was being in there, I wasn't checking my messages, and Joey was trying to hit me up like, hey, there's this guy that wants to show up. It looks like Tony Hawk. And I didn't get to the message because I'm running the stream and I'm in the apartment and all this stuff is going on. And there's a knock at the door and I answer it and I'm expecting Domino's or McDonald's or whatever else. And it was just this guy and he was like, "Hey, I'm Tony Hawk." And for a moment I was so engrossed in the apartment for an eighth of a second I thought it was really Tony Hawk and somebody had paid him to do a personal appearance. Like there was this moment where I don't think I could see it, but it's just like he was immediately in character, and I was so like I had already been in there for hours, so I had so many other things on my mind, and like there was a minute where not a minute, but like a couple of seconds where I froze for a second. I was like, "Holy shit! Did somebody pay Tony Hawk to actually show?" And then I quickly figured. I was like, "Hey, Perry, it's Tony Hawk," and he came in and he just went right with it. And then I looked at my messages and I was gonna write Joe. I was like, "Hey, there's a guy here who says he's Tony Hawk," and then he had been writing me like, "Hey." There's a guy who says he's Tony. He wants to go by Perry's because I had said on the stream, "Hey, if you're local, just come over." And then I was looking through all these messages, and then Joey being a great producer, made the executive decision of telling the guy just to show up. But anyway, my point is, he went right for it because it was right at the point where there was a challenge for the durian to be opened and make a sandwich of it out of the duck egg and whatever else. And Tony just went right into it. Tony went right into it, like, oh yeah, I used to make these all the time, and he was the one that sliced the durian, made the sandwiches, sat next to Perry. And by the way, when I say sandwich, I meant like duck egg with durian and whatever else gross thing was in it. I don't remember every ingredient off the top of my head. But he sat down next to Perry and ate it with him and kept a straight face and be like, yeah, no, these are great. These I used to do this when I was a kid. And I was like, whoa, that is...
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't so awesome when the champagne went into my computer, but other than that,
no, it wasn't. But I do like how like he didn't bring his wallet in with him, so Perry was like asking him for his wallet. He's like, "Do you think I bring my fucking wallet in places?" So he couldn't unverify him. But that was terrible.
It was Rice Krispie treats. That's right. It was Rice Krispie treats, duck eggs, and duck eggs, which were in the garbage, by the way.
And those tofu things, right? Wasn't it those tofu strips? Yeah, somebody fucking sent them.
Oh, that's right. That sounds familiar. Yes.
The shit that he had to cook on the fucking Foreman grill that you made him put over by the computer.
That's right. Yeah, that's going.
By the way.
That's right. Good Lord.
Should have made him cook them longer, actually. Those fucking tofu things were like, you could hear him sizzling, but you should have made him cook them well done.
Yeah, well, hindsight, there's a lot of things I would do a little differently.
Next.
You see, I'm afraid, like, I wouldn't, I'll tell you what I straight up won't do, is I will not be in there if he gets another can of that, like, surströmming thing. Because when he... Because when there was one, I think he got it like 2 or 3 times at some point, and we probably cycled through it enough times.
Yes.
But there was one where he cranked into it with the can opener, and you could hear it bursting out with its juices and stuff were going all over the place. And like when Perry complains about the smell, it must be atrocious because his senses are so dulled. Like that's why he can take spicy things. And it's spicy. If he's complaining, it's like really spicy. That's why I think he would kill on something like Hot Ones or any kind of hot wing challenge or something like that. He'd slay anybody. Yep. There's just nothing. There's nothing to it. So but anyway, the long story short was to say that I don't know what the next TomB week would look like, but you can you can definitely I think you've earned access to that. So I'll let you know in advance. I don't know yet. I was first thinking Halloween, then I was thinking maybe his birthday, but I don't know if I could pull it off in the next month.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, my birthday is on the 11th and his on the 17th. So, but maybe Thanksgiving or something. Who knows?
That's the 1-year anniversary.
That would be fantastic.
God, can you imagine like we get like we'd have to get it catered, but can you imagine like just bringing in like a huge table that's set up behind the couch where it's like a turkey and all the fixings and we're just basically it's like a PCL Thanksgiving live and it's like past the turkey while he's handling tip comments and challenges and stunts and all that, like a very PCL Thanksgiving. So, I mean, if not this year, maybe next year. Like, it's definitely we definitely got to do that at some point. Like, or maybe like something. Oh my God, I'm envisioning it right now. Like just like literally, you'd have to get him to agree to it. Of course, we wouldn't like force it on him, but like a ton, like almost. I'd say you have to move the couch forward a little bit, and then just have a huge catering table behind that, and it's just like, and then there's dessert and like all these things. It's just
a gallon of Paisano wine maybe would be good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the drinks for everyone.
Yeah, and like everybody has plate, and like like Garrett sits down, and like like we have like paper plates, and Thanksgiving just don't go well, and you could just like load it up with gravy where it's like leaking off the plate. God damn it! I said that. Hannah says baked durian,
love it.
a baked durian pie. I'm sure Tony Hawk has a recipe for that somewhere in his family. So
Love it.
I'll
All
let
right.
you know,
Well,
Frank. I'll let you know.
let's have Thanksgiving there. Okay, that would be great.
Well, we have a lot to be thankful for.
I am down, man. Come on, I'll be there.
All right, Frank. I'm gonna wrap up, but thanks for calling. I got to do more calls on After Hours. I know I got to do more calls.
Okay.
Thank you.
You do. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Frank. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
All right, man. Good night.
Good night. Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Rick. Rick said the durian smelled like cat pee. I mean, there was so many smells that week, but the durian was just like, ooh. How long do you think it would take for Perry to mention one thing he's thankful for? That would take a minute or two. Yeah, that would take a minute or two. John Diaper, can I have my VIP removed and donated? Why would you want to do that? I'm thankful for, like, he'd be so just because in the moment he'd be so distracted. There'd be so many people and food. When did he last have a new carpet? The answer is probably when he first moved in, and I think Rick can attest to this. Walking on the carpet's like walking on concrete because it's so matted down. And I've said to him, I've tried to make it happen where like the apartment can redo, like get a new carpet in there. And it's just like, like he'd have to, like, I don't know, spend like a day or so out or like whatever, and they basically move all the furniture out and get a new carpet and like that. But man, he's not amenable to it at all. But I would like to. I'm hoping, seeing how things go. Like I think the inevitable move is going to be Perry actually moving into a different location. That the address is not known to everybody. That's probably. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. He should get a sponsorship from RC's Blow and Go. He doesn't seem too accepting to sponsorships. Certainly doesn't get a thing. John, I don't know what you're on about with the VIP thing. I don't get it. I can give it to those who pretend to be you. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Couldn't you build off work to get Perry out of long enough the carpet can be changed out? Maybe he gets home right. No, because I mean that it is going to take a lot because you got to keep in mind the whole place is carpeting aside from the kitchen and the bathroom, so everything needs to be moved out. And everything meaning bed, credenza, couch, everything, and you guys know what it looks like, so it's crazy. Yeah. By the way, VIPs cannot be gifted and cannot be purchased. Unfortunately, they are earned. So, I mean, yeah. And John, if you really want me to take you out VIP, write me in the daytime hours off stream, and I guess I can do that for you. But we're not giving it away to anybody. That's not the way it works. So I'm going to need a written declaration, minimum of 2,500 words, of why you no longer want to be a VIP. I need it to be double spaced. And no grammatical. You're gonna have to get a copy editor. No grammatical mistakes of any kind. Yeah. By the way, Rick earned his VIP status. That was like trial by fire. Rick Rick got attacked for his VIP status. Yeah, you're welcome, Frank. It was cool. We'll do more. I'm not gonna take any more tonight, but we'll do. I want to do more calls on After Hours. If by the way, if you're out there, you can get have Skype installed, have a decent microphone, or maybe I guess maybe even the phone works or something like that. But yeah, Rob says, Tom, would Perry be open? Would Perry open a stream extolling the virtues of a fake sponsorship? I don't know. I don't know if he can get his head around that. Oh, Hannah, you haven't gotten the affidavit yet? Did you? It's taken that long to get to you? Because I think he sent it out on Tuesday. By the way, George, did you get the painting yet? Did that arrive in the mail or no? Oh, dudesdatingdudes.com. I seriously doubt it. If somebody can interpret John's thing, submit that to me in writing, please. Yeah, but round of applause. Everybody was talking. I think Hannah's call, which was the first call on Subscriber Sunday this past Sunday, was phenomenal. And then I think round of applause are I've said it before, but that was fantastic. Everybody loved it, and I heard actually, Hannah, through the grapevine, there are some celebrity fans that they may not watch every stream religiously, but they definitely check out the PCL Twitter, and they watch it on Twitter and were asking what the deal was there. So that's. So high praise. So okay, you got it in the mail. Cool. That's great. Because also there's something about Perry being on the phone, where the person on the phone gets authority over Perry, has authority over Perry, this assumed authority. Even RC waking him up that day, and he wakes up. So when Hannah was on the phone with him, and he got him to write down on a piece of paper, you need to write this down, I, Perry Caravello, and it was incredible. That you're able to. Not everybody can pull it off, but it's just you came off with such an authority, and he started writing it down and taking it seriously. It was great. George, he sent it on Tuesday, and I have a tracking number if you really need it. I think he took a picture of the receipt from the post office. It was ridiculously expensive to ship some of those things. Let's see if I have it here. Fuck. Sorry for using bad language. I don't know if he sent me. I have it though, so I'm assuming you're gonna have it by Monday. You know what's crazy? Rick says he was nervous talking to Perry at first, but I found if you talk to him sternly, he will listen. I think on the when we did the Hot Amy Takeover stream that was on YouTube, this past Monday, you were it was definitely an early Rick call, and you're a very different Rick than you are now. And I don't know if that was your first call or you had called in before that, but that was. It was interesting to hear, because I think people even picked up on oh my god, that's Rick, wow, that's Rick, that's totally Rick's voice. And I think your sign off was, I don't know who the first person to do this, but it was very funny. Like where I love you, and then there's a beat, a wait, and I want you inside me. And then I think his response was, I don't know if it was you that did it. Oh, it was your first time. But it was like, you're gayer than hell and goodbye. uh, which is great. Which is great. And yeah, so anyway, this Monday, we're going to have Hot Amy Live for anybody who missed it, and also anybody who wants to revisit it. I'm surprised, like we've been going early on Sundays for a while. I'm surprised there's a decent amount. There's a decent amount of international calls. I'm surprised there's not more of them, because I know there's a lot of international fans. So I'm surprised there's no more, like there's not as many UK or European or etc. calls. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm toying around with maybe starting at 2 p.m. on Sunday. It might be just too early. We never had a Scotland call. If you're in Scotland, please put your number in. That would be great. So yeah, 5 p.m. start time on Sunday is too late. 2 p.m. might be just right. Noon might be too early. I don't know. It's always weird trying to figure out time. And I kept saying for a while, like I was going to do like a daytime Wednesday. We still might do that at one point, but now, oddly enough, Wednesday's become the most popular stream as far as numbers go, which is so strange because it used to be like the least, like not the least, but it just was not as big, and now it's like it's big. Where are you, Mumbles? Why is it brutal? Are you in the West Coast? Yeah, if everybody thinks that 2 p.m. is better, I want to do what's better for everybody. Like I feel that the different days try to catch, like 6 p.m. start on Wednesday is great for Australians. I know, because it's like late morning, early afternoon Australia for them. So and me personally, I couldn't do any earlier than 9 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. Oh, Saturdays are late nights for you? No, I want to keep media share to Wednesday only. I think Wednesday is media share only for now. You don't want to overdo it on different days. Right now, I think it's good on Wednesday. And we're going to do a mobile Monday of some kind, I believe. I think I've said that before. I think Monday the 25th, I believe. I'm still trying to work that out. Only because I can't do that Sunday. Yeah, LWO does a great job today, and we're LWO sent in a nice tip that made it look like it was for me, but it wasn't. It's actually for Perry, because Perry's doing a little voiceover work for a project he's doing. Hasn't committed to it yet, but yeah. So yeah, LWO does amazing stuff. Has a great YouTube channel too. Have I thought about making channel point redemptions? Explain to me what that is. I don't know what that is. Channel point redemptions. I've heard that. I've heard that phrase mentioned. I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah, and I agree with Mumbles. I like that every stream has its own identity. And for a while, Wednesday was just kind of, whatever. But I like having it media share and Friday mailbag. And, mailbag's hit or miss. And then subscriber Sunday. Um, and maybe over time that'll develop into something else. But yeah, I have two different ideas for Mobile Monday, and I think Joey and I were hashing out, and then I talked to Garrett, and Garrett would need to be a part of it because he would need a cameraman for it. But I don't want to say where. I'm not going to say where it is, but it's a little ambitious. You get channel points for watching. You can make some custom redeems, like make Perry sing on. Okay, I'll write a note to myself to look into that. That's not a bad idea. Channel points redemption. Yeah, Garrett's great with Perry, so I think yeah. So I just don't trust him on a Mobile Monday completely. Because Mobile Monday you'd be on. He'd at least be the ideal Mobile Monday is having him like remote for definitely more than an hour, but I don't think more than 2 hours because at one point you do need him to come home. To which we would have a slight intermission while he drives home. But I think if Garrett's driving, I think they could still stream because you can't. Like, there's a Twitch rule, which is a smart rule, by the way. You can't live stream if you're driving. But I think you can be the passenger and live stream. I need to triple check that, but I believe that's the case. So if he has Garrett with him and they're like leaving, let's say whatever location is Mobile Monday, he can still stay on the stream and just be in the car as he's being driven home, and then we pick up the stream when he gets home and finish it from there. That's my ideal beat on how it should go. You can let people bet on a bunch of different stuff. Like Perry's gonna remind me to congratulate Adam Sandler before. Okay, that's cool. I like that idea. I'll definitely try to incorporate that. Does Perry need Halloween decorations? Yes, he does. Rick, we could talk about that. Yes, he does. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be celebrating Halloween big. Are you sure about that, Doctor Who Care? I mean, with the streaming and driving, because I know people have gotten in trouble for streaming and driving. I just think it's a bad precedent to set. I wouldn't want him streaming and driving, period. So, I mean, it's just never going to happen. So even if it's, because then reading chat, like, okay, so does TTS count as reading chat? So, you know what I mean? Like where do you draw the line with that? So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I just think I think it's a bad thing. It's such a weird thing with like the Twitch terms of service. Like, like some of them I feel, and then some of them are outdated. Like for a while, a guy couldn't have his shirt off, but that was old and that was revised before Perry even started. And I remember when we first started, Perry would be there's this whole like thing on Twitch I've noticed, specifically Twitch. You don't see it on YouTube, where like, and it's all like random people that enter into your stream. if they see something that they think isn't allowed, they just write in. And then some people do it sarcastically, I know, but some people legit write TOS, 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 like the TOS police. It's like when people have his, people come in and see his shirt off, and this is like, going back a ways. They're like, OMG, TOS, TOS. Like, no, actually, the TOS was revised in April 2019, and no, there's no nudity, but a man with his shirt off does not qualify as nudity. I had to be very specific on that and double check. Yeah, I figured Rick would have a hookup with her. Rick has lights, spider webs. Yeah, I do. Okay, regardless if I'm out there or not for Halloween, I do want the apartment decorated in Halloween paraphernalia. Ravo says, I always say TOS. Yeah, I get that most people here say TOS like laughing, like, sarcastically, but there are the randos that come in and do it. Not so much anymore because there's nothing that really happens, at least visually, that would trigger that. Some people stream their Uber drives. Probably a bad idea for Perry, but lots of people drive while streaming. Yeah, no, I don't mind if he's a passenger, even in like a Lyft or an Uber. That's fine, as long as he's not behind the wheel. Decorate the piss patio? Yeah, we could do that. That's... By the way, that paint, how awesome was that painting tonight? That painting was just beyond awesome. And it's like and immediately his reaction was just to break it and throw it away. It's like, really, dude? That thing is so awesome. That's actually one of my favorites to date. It's so good. A spooky piss patio. A ghouly piss patio. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the petrified piss patio. I was trying to think of an alliterative for that. Like the petrified piss patio. That would be good. Yeah, exactly. Opium Death says it right. Perry can't even buckle his belt and stream at the same time. Do you really trust him to drive and stream? No, I don't. He can't multitask. And I say that as someone who cannot multitask either. I cannot multitask. I somehow pull it off during the stream or whatever. When I'm like kind of in work mode, I do it. But like in my day-to-day life, I can't multitask. It's ridiculous. Haunted shithouse patio. That's good. But yeah, we'll figure out something for Halloween. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. I had ideas. One of the ideas I had is a little overly ambitious. I don't think that's going to pan out, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, I did say that I did say that I was not going to make it a long one, and I don't want to go. I always forget. I always forget that Friday starts late, and I just looked at the clock, and it's 10 minutes till 6 a.m. So at least I'm going to end in the next 10 minutes because I got shit. I gotta be up at 9. It's all right. I'll take a nap later. Could Perry dress up scary and try spooking locals on Skid Row? Probably a bad idea. And I can't imagine what the Reseda Skid Row looks like. Oh, where are you, Opium Death, that you're listening to it at work? And that's cool that you're listening to it. Jigsaw could present Perry with a 2 different stunts he doesn't want to do. That's good. I thought about the whole Jigsaw thing. Is that what I like about Jigsaw? This is what I will say about the Saw movies: is the Jigsaw things are very well thought out, and I like how he knows about all the mistakes you made, and like you could just picture, oh, you're in New York, shit, okay, Well, shout out to anybody in New York because it is 10 minutes to 6 a.m. But like, you have that voice, and you can go into like the like back in 1984, you stole a car, or, whatever. Like, now you will pay. You have led a selfish life. Now you will find out what it. And of course, it'll probably go over his head. But yeah, some kind of thing, or like even like one of those like those Chinese handcuffs that you put on your fingers, like how to get out of it, like how to escape this certain device that you have on you or something like that. So nothing like, we don't want any like sharp blades that are like, hey, if you don't figure this out in the next 10 minutes, this thing's gonna chop your tattoo off or cut your arm off. You say you don't want your tattoo, but if you don't solve this puzzle within 10 minutes, your arm will be decapitated. Not dislocated and severed off at the limb. But yeah, finger traps. Yeah, something like that. There's no way he had handcuffs as a DAP. Everybody said that. I mean, they might have let him have handcuffs to like try out as a kid, but there's no way he actually had real police handcuffs. I don't believe that for a second. There's just no way. All right, guys, why don't we call it a night? At 5:55 a.m. East Coast time, and we'll see you on Sunday. If hopefully you can make Sunday at the start time at 12. I know it's a little earlier for some people. 12 Pacific, 2 p.m. East. 3 p.m. East. Perry's going to be MC Scammer to start the show off. I will spend some time probably tomorrow showing him the MC Hammer dance, so we can kind of get that down. I want it to be a good thing. So he's gonna, and he'll find the costume tomorrow, I'm sure. I actually felt bad. I didn't want him to like. He felt kind of. You could tell he was really tired. I didn't want him to like just look everywhere looking for that costume. But hopefully he'll find it tomorrow, and we'll figure that out on. He'll open with it. He'll open wearing it. Maybe we'll do one of those cold opens where it opens in the hallway and he just like wraps his way into the frame and like, hey, this is MC Scammer. Oh, thanks, Rick. Yeah. By the way, Rick, thanks for being part of the PCL family. You're one of us. Rick, one of the veterans of the Sunday TomB week finale. So yeah, good night, everybody. Have a great Saturday, whatever you're doing, this Columbus Day weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday. Anyway, to fix chat, some more messages show up. Seem to only highlight my message. That I see all the chat. Rob, is there an issue? I don't. Is there an issue with messages not showing up? That's the first I'm hearing of it. I laughed really hard when he said MC was more currency or something. Yeah, it could be. I don't know what MC stands for. Is it Master of Ceremonies? Oh, thanks, Call Me Road. He says, thanks for the stream, made my night. That's awesome. But yeah, see you guys on Sunday. Have a good one.